Elton John storms off The View after fiery clash with Joy Behar, the headline that exploded across every gossip site and YouTube thumbnail this morning. And yes, the clip is already at 23 million views in less than 12 hours. It all started innocently enough when the legendary singer, dressed in a bright purple suit and his trademark oversized rose-tinted glasses, sat down to promote his farewell tour documentary. Whoopi Goldberg opened with a usual warm welcome. Sunny Hostin asked about his health after the recent hip surgery, and everything felt like the standard daytime television love fest. Then Joy Behar, leaning forward with that familiar half-smirk she always wears when she's about to drop what she thinks is a clever bomb, decided to go there. She brought up Elton's very public criticism of certain pop stars who lip-sync during live shows and then pivoted to his old interviews where he once called Madonna a fairground stripper. Joy said, and I quote, "You've thrown a lot of shade over the years, Sir Elton. Don't you think it's a bit rich to complain about cancel culture now when people push back at you?" The studio audience let out that collective ooh you only hear when someone has clearly crossed an invisible line nobody knew was there until that exact second. Elton didn't even let her finish the follow-up question. He removed his glasses slowly, placed them on the table like a man laying down a gauntlet, and said, "Joy, darling, I've been famous since before you were reading the news on Local in New York. I've earned the right to an opinion." The audience laughed nervously because it was funny but also a little brutal. Joy, never one to back down, fired back, "Earned the right? So only people with enough record sales get free speech now?" That's when the temperature in the room visibly changed. Whoopi tried to jump in with a joke about everybody calming down and having a croissant, but Elton was already in motion. He pointed at Joy and said, "You sit there every day judging people you've never met, twisting words for ratings, and you have the nerve to lecture me about fairness?" Sunny Hostin looked like she wanted the floor to swallow her whole. Alyssa Farah Griffin just kept staring at her notes pretending none of this was happening, and Sarah Haynes had her hand half over her mouth in genuine shock. The producers cut to commercial 30 seconds early, which literally never happens on The View. When they came back from break, Elton was still in his seat, but you could tell he was done playing nice. Joy tried to smooth it over by saying she was just asking the question the audience at home wants answered, classic deflection move, but Elton wasn't having it. He went full diva, voice getting higher with every sentence, hands flying everywhere, the whole package. He brought up how Joy once called him a has-been in the 90s, how the show had ambushed other guests before, and then he dropped the line that will be on t-shirts by tomorrow. "I've sold 300 million records, love. I don't need to sit here and be schooled by a woman who got famous because Rosie O'Donnell quit." The audience gasped so loud it sounded like one person with surround sound. Whoopi actually said, "Okay, we're gonna take another break," while the cameras were still rolling, and that's when Elton stood up, unclipped his mic pack, threw it on the chair, and said, "I'm too old for this nonsense. Goodbye, ladies," and walked off set while the theme music awkwardly started playing over the chaos. Backstage footage leaked almost immediately, because of course it did, and you can hear someone, probably a stage manager, pleading with Elton to come back and finish this segment. He's heard replying, "Tell Joy Behar she can kiss both sides of my platinum ass," which sent Twitter, or whatever we're calling it this week, into meltdown. Within minutes #Elton walks and #Joy Behar roasted were trending worldwide. Clips of the moment were remixed with his own songs. "I'm still standing over the walk-off," "The bitch is back" when Joy tried to speak, you name it. Even celebrities started weighing in. Cher posted a simple rocket emoji, Madonna posted a popcorn gif, and Dolly Parton, bless her, wrote "Both of you all need Jesus and a hug." The View's official account posted a very corporate "We thank Sir Elton John for his appearance today and wish him continued success" statement that nobody believed for a second. Meanwhile, Elton's team released their own statement saying he left because he had a sound check to get to. which everybody also knew was nonsense because the tour doesn't even start for another month. By late afternoon the think pieces were flying, one side calling Elton a fragile ego who can dish it but can't take it, the other side saying Joy ambushed a 78-year-old icon for cheap daytime heat. The truth is probably somewhere in the middle, but nobody cares about truth when there's viral carnage to watch on loop. Replays showed Joy's face right after he called her out, that tiny flicker where the smirk disappears and you remember she's human under all that hairspray. And honestly, it was the most interesting thing that's happened on The View in years. Ratings for tomorrow's episode are already projected to beat the post-election shows, because everyone wants to see if Joy addresses it or pretends the whole thing was planned. My money's on her opening with "Well, I guess I won't be getting that Christmas card from Elton this year," and then moving on like nothing happened, because that's the daytime TV way. So there you have it. The day Elton John reminded everyone he may be a knight and a legend and a treasure, but he's still the same guy who once threw a tantrum because a hotel didn't have the right kind of mineral water. The internet will be arguing about who was right for the next week. TikTok will keep the remixes coming, and somewhere in a mansion in the south of France, Elton is probably laughing with David over a glass of something expensive, perfectly aware he just gave himself another 6 months of free publicity. Joy will survive, she always does, and The View will keep rolling because chaos is literally the business model. But for one shining moment this morning, a rock star said not today to daytime television's queen of clapback, walked off set like only a true diva can, and gave us all the messy gift we didn't know we needed in 2025. And if that isn't the most Elton John thing ever, I don't know what is.